Hi guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video I'm going to be showing you around the fourth project. Right, as you can see it's a VW Mk1 Caddy. This one is a little bit special in that it's actually full drive. So it was converted when it was back in Germany to use a synchro rear end, and then that had a Haldex conversion put on it, and it was running an R32 twin turbo when it was out in Germany, but I'm not quite being that bold. I'm only putting a 24 valve NA VR lamp in it. I'll show you that quickly. So there it is. So that's a 2.8 24 valve. It's mated to an 02M 4-drive gearbox. That's really it. NA standard. Nothing really much more to report on that. As you can see, it's a reasonably bigger unit to get into a Mark 1, but it does fit with a few mods. What else have I done? I've put a new front panel on it because obviously when it was in Germany and it was a twin turbo, there ain't a lot of room under a Mark 1 bonnet for things like intercoolers, so it was actually sticking out the front. So there was a big kind of cutout in the front panel. As I'm not running any turbos, I put a nice clean line, so I put a new front panel back on. Also, it had a pro net on the back. There was no tailgate, so he had flushed all the mounts for the rear tailgate, but I quite like caddies with tailgate, so I've got a tailgate back on there now, welded the mounts back on, and that's all sitting pretty. It was left-hand drive when it arrived to me. I've since converted it to right-hand drive, or in the process of converting it to right-hand drive. I just need to finish off a few of the welds on the steering rack and the steering column. I'll just take you inside. It's a bit of a mess inside in terms of kind of wires and dash, but it will be well, I will be fitting a Lupo dash, which is what this is. There is a method to that madness, and I'll explain it in a second. Let me just kind of get it out and show you the rest. Okay, so the Lupo dash. Really simple reason why I'm fitting a Lupo dash is that the vehicle speed signal from the ECU won't work in a Mark 1 set of clusters. So my only option was to either have a Mark 1 dash and butcher the clusters to fit maybe like a Mark 4 set of clusters, or use a later spec dash with clusters that will accept that signal. A Lupo will fits the bill, so it's proportionally the same size as a Mark 1, so the dash goes in quite easy, and the clusters will accept that signal so I can get vehicle speed. In terms of the rest of the wiring, when I first bought the car there was nothing in here, it was completely bare, so I've had to kind of butcher together loads of different looms to get it all to work. So currently in here we've got a part Mark 1 loom, part Mark 2 loom, Mark 2 fuse box, Mark 4 engine loom, and Lupo dash and cluster loom. It's not quite plug and play, but it's quite simple, and it all kind of stitches together somewhat. So I'm not sure how easy it's going to be to see, but this is a set of Mark 2 stalks. The connections to these are Mark 1, that goes across and down. I've cut the ends off and I'll resolder on the Mark 2 connectors to go into the fuse box. Then I've got the Mark 4 ECU and engine loom coming through. In terms of Mark 4, these are for the O2 sensors. I've got the diagnostic ports, the drive-by-wire pedal, which is in here somewhere. Drive-by-wire pedal. I've also got the clutch and brake switch, which I need to fit, and that's in terms of Mark 4. And then in terms of Lupo, I've got things like the light switch, the hazard lights, the cluster loom. I think that's it. Actually, to tell a lie, the only bit of loom that was in the vehicle when I got it was for the rear lights and I believe the rear fuel tank. But that was it. There was no cabin loom, there was no engine loom. So this is all kind of not new, but it's all new to this vehicle anyway. In terms of the rest of the interior, it came with a nice set of Recaros, which are probably quite rare now. Back in the day, these were all the rage. The centre tunnel's been modified, obviously, to accept the 4-wheel drive. I've got quite a lot of pictures and stuff which I'll try and put into this video just to give you a view of what it looks like underneath. I'll try and show you now, but I doubt the camera's going to pick it up, but it's quite clean under there. I'm not sure how much you can see. and I'm sure you can't see anything, but I'll post some pictures which will give you a better view. Right, what next? So I've got to get the engine out so that I can finish the mounts for the steering rack. I've got a little bit of welding to do on the column mounts, and then I can get the engine back in. Once the engine's in, I can finish the cabin loom and the engine bay loom, get the dash in, and then that will be it actually. At that point I should be able to fire her up, all things being equal. Once I've kind of over that hurdle, then I can concentrate on getting a decent set of wheels, because at the moment it's just rolling around on these steelies. Then I'd like to sort the suspension out, so I'd like to get an air ride kit and dump this right to the floor. And then finally I need to get a Haldex controller to control that rear diff. And that will be it, the project will be complete. I'm really looking forward to finishing this one, simply because I kind of started out modifying cars on Mark 1 Golfs. My first kind of official project was a Mark 1 16 valve way back when. So again, yeah, massive soft spot for Mark 1 Caddies. I've actually owned a couple of Caddies in the past, but they've always been project cars. So I kind of started them, never quite finished, and moved them on. So this will actually be my third but first Caddy, if that makes sense. So again, really psyched and looking forward to getting this one finished. Hoping you guys continue to watch and follow the progress, and I will keep you updated and see you on the next one. Cheers, bye.